Hi, friends. Welcome once again to the Cross Culture Recitals as, part of the Cross Culture Concerts on SciArtsRUs. And today we are very excited to have Rishima Bahadoorsingh from Canada. I want to introduce Rishima to all of you. She's a very versatile artist and it's very, very interesting, her background. Rishima actually, while initially she started singing spiritual Indian songs that were rooted in temple traditions of bhajans, kirtan, and other devotional music, she later studied and performed formal music in piano, violin, voice, harmonium, and also Indian percussion. So, Rishima is such a perfect person for the cross-culture platform, actually. And she started learning music at a very young age, at like the age of 7. And later she worked under the guidance of Elena Steele for about 10 years, where she polished her Western repertoire and her Indian vocals with Neeraja Aptekar for a couple of years from 2006 to 2008. Further, she studied with the Pandit Jasraj Institute in Vancouver in 2005. And she has also been enriching her vocals in North Indian music with Shankar Mahadevan Academy in India, with Madhumita Chakraborty for the last, from 2014 through 17. In addition to all this, Rishima has also been learning Dhrupad and Nadi Yoga, the sound of yoga, which is very interesting because June 21st being the International Day of Yoga and Music, I think it's perfect that we are having Rishima this weekend. And she also has been taught by Manish Kumar, one of the Bihar brothers duo, and part of the Dagarwani lineage. And she has also completed Raga therapy certification with the Nada Center for Music Therapy. There's quite a bit, about Rishima, and I don't think I can do justice if I just read all this out. But before I turn it over to Rishima, I also wanted to say that she draws a lot upon her unique Indo-Trinidadian roots. And created the Ray of Light music, which is exactly the meaning of her name as well, to share her knowledge of Indian devotional music. Warm welcome to you, Rishima, on
Thank you so
SciArtsRUs.
much.
Really, really appreciate you, being a part of this and, also coming and talking to us. We would love to learn a little more about you, and I think like we were talking earlier, I'm so glad we finally met.
Yes,
A
a
little
lot of
bit.
Facebook messages.
I know, right? And I've been seeing also your site on music and dance where you've been sharing a lot of interesting dances and music as well. Tell us a little bit about your background. I know you're in Canada now, but
Yes,
tell us a little bit about your journey. Thank you.
sure. I was actually originally born in Trinidad. And there's this history. I know some people may not be aware. Over 150 years ago, Indians were brought over by the British to work in Trinidad. And my grandparents were, my great grandparents were some of them. So there's actually a large Indian community. We don't really speak the language anymore from India. It's mostly English, but we've tried to maintain a lot of the culture and religions. And it's almost like a mini India at times, a frozen capture of India from 150 years ago.
Amazing. Okay.
It's really neat. And I moved to Canada when I was about 4 years old. And there was a very small Indian community at that time. Now it's very, very different. We have quite a large community now. So at the time, we would gather together in family homes and in centers to sing bhajans and to sing and learn together. And that's how I began this sort of musical journey. And my mom would send me to different teachers, the aunties. That's where your first music teachers are.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I would learn from the different aunties and teachers that were available at the time. And I just really enjoyed it. And of course, at the time, because we were in Canada, I learned Western music. So my mom put me, of course, into ballet, into piano, into all of those, anything that was available at the time. So I kind of had both going. And of course, in school, I had a very strong musical program. So I did a lot more Western music at that time, choral music. And then eventually, when I was in university, I went back to Indian music. I really wanted to study it more. And that's where that pursuit of looking for other teachers is where I found Neera Japtikar and other teachers as well. And I've just haven't stopped. And I think the amazing thing I feel about Indian music and just music in general is that ability to change the mood of somebody, to make them feel better. And that's always the comment I get after either singing or playing, or even myself. For me, I love it because there's just that energy, that rush of beautiful energy that comes when you sing or you play or you participate in anything that's musical or visually beautiful, such as dance and things like that as well. So that's why I kept pursuing. I still feel like a beginner, honestly, that I still have so much more to learn, but it's just, once you sort of crack open, I also recently discovered sort of ragas and their healing powers and their other aspects of that. And that's why I took that certification course.
Right.
And that opened up this explosion of, oh my gosh, there's so much more to learn. I want to learn. So that's my path right now. I'm still learning. I'm still trying to learn and perfect my art as well.
That's amazing. And, in addition to all the things you've done, and I haven't even done justice, like I said, there's so much more you've done for music and dance. In addition to this, you also teach locally and online, both in
Yes.
Spanish and English as well,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
That's pretty incredible. And you also, you have a master's in education and curriculum and development and a bachelor's in education, and you teach at the elementary school as
Yes.
well. Am I right?
Yes. Keeping myself busy.
No, that's incredible. And what really, struck me from your bio is how you, like you mentioned, you've used music very positively and therapeutically. And it's such an interesting coincidence, that we've chosen to, premiere your performance like this weekend, on the occasion of International Yoga and Music Day. Tell us a little more about, how you've tried to incorporate this. I know you did the certification, but, have you been consciously incorporating that in your lessons and when you teach your students as well?
The yogic portion of it. Well, I think from learning the Dhrupad, which is what I've been focusing now more for almost 5 years it's been, I've noticed that the style in itself is this deep spiritual healing practice. The way the notes are sung, the vowels and the vocabulary that is used is specifically chosen. Well, it's said that it was created by the Samaveda. You don't really know the date of when that really started, but it was a oral tradition, this lineage that's passed down from each teacher to student for maybe thousands of years. And the whole purpose of this style in general was that meditative connection to the earth, to consciousness, to divinity. And within the style as well, as well as the musical notes. So in some theories there, and also my teachers have mentioned that each of the notes is related to different chakras in your body and the different nadi systems. So as you're singing and as you're doing these slides, you're activating and opening up these areas and clearing out stuff as well. And then, so that's one aspect, the actual sound practice. And then there's also the vocabulary that you're singing. These aranana tetaranas, these are syllables that are from a longer mantra, and these are some of the syllables that are taken that we would do the improvisation, the alap that you'll be hearing in the performance. And then there is the it's a deep yogic practice as well, is that when you're starting the alap and just the general nature of the rag, you start with the lower notes. So you're activating sort of the lower areas of your body. And as you go up, we work up and we work higher and higher till we reach the higher notes, which is this area of the higher areas of your body. So it's that journey, like that serpent going up your body, and the energy is going up your body as well. And as well, within this, there are the pranayamas, the breathing exercises, and the breathing that is done within the singing as well. So all of these are part of the yogic practice, because there's so many different aspects within yoga including the sound, including the mantra practice, including pranayama. And so all of this put together is this is why singing, especially Dhrupad, is considered a practice of Nada yoga.
Correct. No, what a interesting and good explanation. Thank you so much for that. So I know currently your focus is a little more on the Indian, classical music, both from a spirituality and also just fundamentally. As far as the music that you learned, like Western and other languages, do you currently practice that as well?
I feel that I just sing that normally now. I had studied it for so long, and I
Amazing.
performed it quite a lot when I was younger. I think much into my 20s, I was singing it. I was the official wedding singer as
Oh,
well,
wow. Okay.
in the family, in the community. So I was singing Western music a lot as well as Indian music. So I was doing both. Only recently, when I had my children, I focused more on the Indian music because I'm finding there's a larger acknowledgement and awareness of Indian music, and especially within Canada, North America, and as you've already mentioned, South America, people really are interested in Indian music. And one of the reasons you mentioned before that I teach in Spanish is because there are very few teachers, Indian musicians, who speak Spanish. So as soon as they found out that I was there, there was that flock. So that's why my focus has shifted more to Indian music. Otherwise, I do still sing Western music. I do still play piano, and I feel it's more my personal practice. So I would sit and I would just play, or I would sing with my children. And I also, of course, as an elementary school teacher, I teach music there.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I was gonna ask. Mhm.
yeah, so there I do teach Western music, but I also try to include all the cultures of the children that are in my classroom. So whether it's from Ethiopia or the Philippines or Vietnam or Hong Kong or Punjab, I try to incorporate all of those aspects of music to let the children experience everything. But of course, it's still based in a Western foundation of music. So they're still learning music notation. They're still learning recorders, that infamous recorder. And so that's where I still use my Western music. And of course, within my spiritual centers, we do sing all the songs. So I sing in English as well as in the different Indian languages as well. So I haven't dropped anything. It's just that I've
That's
incorporated it in
amazing.
different ways.
I love this. I absolutely love this. I mean, do you think, like you said, that your unique, background, like the Indo-Trinidadian background, if I'm saying it correctly, is that helping a lot with the fact that you're able to assimilate so many different languages?
I think the unique thing with Trinidad, and this is something that I've noticed even coming back here, is that Trinidad had this way of embracing everyone. So there was a large Hindu community, there was a large Muslim community. My parents are Hindu and Muslim in themselves. And there was a huge community, and everybody celebrated everything. So it didn't matter what religion you were, everybody was out celebrating Diwali or Ramadan. Everybody was just celebrating and enjoying, or Christmas. So it was all just a community. People just wanted to celebrate whatever they could. And having that base, I think, made it easier for me to just be able to share different cultures of music. So, and understand different cultures. Even within my family, we're all married to different people from different cultures. So we're all spread out all over the place with Japanese and Spanish and Ismaili,
Incredible.
Hindu, and everything. So we have this acceptance because we're used to, my father was Hindu, but he would go to the mosque with my mom. My mom was Muslim, but she would go to the temple with my dad. There was no division.
Love
And
it.
I think this is what really, even within music, that's what comes out. So sometimes I will sing classical Indian ragas. Sometimes I may sing a qawwali. Sometimes I'll sing Christmas carols or something in Latin for,
Brilliant.
it really had that base, that that acceptance, that enjoy everything. Everything is one in a way. It's
Great.
the same goal. It's all love. It's that connection through music.
Just love this, hearing this, and I think it's a beautiful message that you're sending, not just through your music, but like you said, like your family represents this kind of a cross culture. And it's just amazing to hear this, and just listening to this is so positive. Thank you so much for sharing this with all of us, Rishima. I think it's a beautiful message. I know, we're running out of time, but I know the lessons that you do, you also take some of those proceeds towards the Soul Community Education Society. Could you tell us a little bit about that? What this
So
society is about?
this is a society that I founded. I don't know how many years now. I think over 8 years ago. I actually, when I graduated from teaching university,
Okay.
my university degree, I
Uh-huh.
took an internship in Peru with the government of Canada at the time. And I learned a lot. I worked within the rural communities and rural villages of how to create better education programs for rural communities who may not have access to well-trained teachers, or because many teachers who are trained, they may go for a little bit of experience, but they may not stay, or they just are not interested. Sometimes, not all the time, that's a generalization. We do have amazing teachers who really work hard. And I learned a lot from that. So from that experience. And so I tried to recreate that with Soul. And Soul is a society that I founded on the outskirts of Piura, which is a city in the north of Peru. And we have a small community that we support. Right now we're on hold because of COVID, but normally we have hired a professional teacher to go 3 times a week to help give support education to the community. Because even though, for example, these children may be 12 years old, they may not, and they are going to school, they may
Right.
not actually know how to read or
Yeah.
do their math
Right.
and so this teacher helps support them with also creative art projects, because simple things like they don't have crayons, or they don't have a teddy bear, or they don't have just things that we take for granted, like a pencil or a book to write in, they don't necessarily have. And so at the moment, what we're doing, we used to, as I said, create and have this education program where she would go every week. Due to COVID, we've had to stop everything. And what we're doing instead at the moment is supplying food and supplies. Actually, not so much the supplies as much, it's really the food that they need, because the community is on the outskirts. They don't get as much social services and support as, of course, the main city areas would. So that's the program that I've been working on for the last 8 years or so now. And so that was actually how I started teaching. Was I started teaching in order to donate it to the school, but then it's just started growing. So
That's such
been maintaining the
another
school as well.
another wonderfully inspiring story. I mean, there's so many facets to you, Rishima. I don't think I can touch upon any or all of these like today. I think we need to have you just for a little interview to learn about all these different things. I wanted to say to our audience, you've performed in many, many different platforms, like live performances, lounges, television. You've been in many different festivals, I mean, I'd like to share your website with everyone as well, so people can learn more about everything you do. And of course, we're very happy that you're, going to be performing in SciArtsRUs as well as part of the cross-culture recitals. Could you tell us a little bit about, what you're going to be performing,
Sure.
to the audience here?
So the first piece I have presented is a Dhrupad piece that I've been actually working on for about almost 4.5 years now. And I still haven't actually quite finished the piece. So the thing with Dhrupad is that it takes time to develop and to gain those techniques. So that's the first piece I'll be singing. And it is a song. The larger portion of it is actually an alap, or improvisation, in slow, medium, and fast speeds. And then there is a short song at the very end, Murata Banabhaye. And I learned this from my teacher, Manish Kumar,
Okay.
of the Bihar brothers. Then the second piece is actually a Spanish bhajan. When I was in another story, I was in Thailand many years ago, before I did my education degree, doing a diploma in education there, and it really transformed my mind on education. But with me in my dorm room, I had some students who were from Ecuador and Mexico, and they would sing these Spanish bhajans. And while we were walking down, and it was very odd to hear, singing
Right.
Spanish bhajans in the middle of Thailand. So when we were walking
Wow.
to school to go and teach, they would sing them, and we would just sing them together. So I really developed this love of hearing them. And
Love
when I
it.
asked them what is the bhajan or what is the song I should sing, this is the one that they chose. So
Wow.
I took their advice, and I've actually sung this a few years ago as well, but they reminded me of it. So that's the second song. And then the last few songs are actually songs I used to perform when I was doing a lot more Western music. So one is The Prayer, which I love, originally sung by Andrea Bocelli and Celine Dion. And it's just a beautiful song. And I think the words and the lyrics sort of it's something that we need to hear right now, and it's in English as well as Italian. And then the last song
Amazing.
is All the Pretty Little Horses. Now, this song is something I heard when I was about 8 years or 9 years old. I went to a music competition for singing, and somebody sung this, and my eyes were just like, oh, this is such a beautiful song. And so I thought of this song, and I thought, let me sing my take on this song.
That's
So those are
amazing.
the pieces that I've been doing.
Thank you so much for this, Rishima. We really need to have you for a much longer performance. You have so many things to share with all of us, and we're very lucky to have you.
Thank you for
This
inviting me
time,
to share a little bit of what I've learned.
no, it's our pleasure, and I think there's so much more that we can learn from everything you're doing, music and otherwise. Thank you once again for sharing this. I think our audience, please tune in for Rishima's performance. Please don't miss it. It's definitely very unique and one of a kind. I want to thank Rishima once again for joining us for the meet and greet, and please stay in touch and hope to meet you sometime and have maybe a live performance.
We're not that
Sure.
far away.
No, we're not, and we're even on the same time zone. So yeah, hopefully, we could have one of these performances live, either
That would
in
be great.
LA or in Canada.
One day. That would be great. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Rishima, for your time. Take care and stay in touch.
Okay, have a great day.
Bye.
Hello, thank you for inviting me today to share some music with you in this cross-cultural experience. My name is Rishima Bahadoorsingh. I was originally born in Trinidad and Tobago and have been living in Canada for most of my life now. I have been trained in Indian classical music, and today I would like to present a piece in Dhrupad. My teacher is Manish Kumar of the Bihar Brothers, and he has learnt in the Dagodvani tradition. I've been learning with him for the last almost 4.5 years now, so I'm still a baby in Dhrupad. I still have a long way to go, but I'm going to present it to you today. Today I'll present a piece in Rag Yaman called Murata Manabhaye. Now, Dhrupad is an ancient form of Indian classical music, so it's a little bit different than what you may have normally heard. And the song that I'll be singing is quite short and actually be at the end. In the beginning, I'll be singing a long alap or improvisational piece of a slow section, a medium section, and a faster section. Due to time constraints, I will be shortening it a little bit today, but I hope you do enjoy it. The bandish is Murata Bhana Bhaye, and the translation for you is, your face touches my heart. You are immensely beautiful. Without you, I am nothing. You take care of me, you have to fulfill my wishes. And this is a bandish to Krishna. And I hope you enjoy it. te te ta ra na re re ra na ra na 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 te ta ra na re re ra na te ta ra na ra na 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 a ra na na re re ra na te ta ra na ra na 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 re re ra na ra na 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 te ta ra na ra na 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 re re ra na ra na 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 re re ra na ra na 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 re re ra na ra na 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 te ta ra na ra na 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 re na ra na re ra ra na 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 te ta ra na ra na 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 re re ra na ra na 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 te ta ra ra na 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 re re ra na ra na 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 te ta ra na ra na 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 te ta ra ra na 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 te ta ra na re ra na 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 re re ra na ra na 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 te ta ra 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 na re re ra na ra 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 te ta ra na re re ra na re re ra na 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 re na 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 te ta ra na re re ra na te ta ra na ra na 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 re re ra na nu ra na 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 ra na 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 re re ra na ra na na ra na 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 te ta ra na ra na 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 re re ra na re ta ra na te ta ra na ra na 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 te ta ra na ra na 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 re re ra na ra na 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 re na nu ra na 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 ra na 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 ra na 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 ta na tu ra na 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 ta na tu ra na 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 ra na 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 ra na 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 ra na 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 ra na ra na ra na 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 ra na 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 ra na 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 ra na na ra na na ra na ra na 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 ra na 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 ra na 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 ra na 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 ra na ra na ra na 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 ra na ra na ra na 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 ra na na ra na na ra na ra na 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 ra na 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 ra na ra na ra na 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 ra na na ra na ra na ra na ra na 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 ra na na ra na na ra na ra na 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 ra na na ra na ra na 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 ra na na ra ra na ri ra no तुम बिन अब कौन Thank you so much. The next song I'm going to sing for you is actually a Spanish bhajan. My friends actually used to sing bhajans in Spanish, and that's where I first heard them. This one was actually recommended by two friends who really thought I should sing this one. It's called Veng Mi Sai Brahma. It's translated as "Come, my Sai Brahma, make my mind like a garden where the values of dharma, shanti, and prema can bloom. Come, my Shiva Satya Sai, dance in my heart, dance in my heart, dance in my heart, dance in my heart, your cosmic dance." I do hope you enjoy this, and please forgive any mistakes I may make in Spanish. Veng mi sai Brahma, veng mi sai Brahma, hazme en mi mente un jardín donde florezca dharma, shanti, prema. Hazte mi mente un jardín donde florezca dharma, shanti, prema. Hazte mi mente un jardín donde florezca dharma, shanti, prema. Ven Shiva Satya Sai baila, ven Shiva Satya Sai baila. Baila en mi corazón, baila en mi corazón, baila en mi corazón, baila en mi corazón, baila en mi corazón tu cósmica danza, baila en mi corazón tu cósmica danza. Veng mi sai Brahma, hazte mi mente un jardín donde florezca dharma, shanti, prema. Hazte mi mente un jardín donde florezca dharma, shanti, prema. Ven Shiva Satya Sai baila, baila en mi corazón, baila en mi corazón, baila en mi corazón, baila en mi corazón, baila en mi corazón tu cósmica danza, baila en mi corazón tu cósmica danza. Baila en mi corazón, baila en mi corazón, baila en mi corazón, baila en mi corazón, baila en mi corazón tu cósmica danza, baila en mi corazón tu cósmica danza. Veng mi sai Brahma, hazte mi mente un jardín donde florezcan dharma, shanti, prema. Thank you so much. Shabai, don't you cry. Go Don't you cry, Hushaby. Don't you cry, Hushaby. Don't you cry. Go to sleepy little baby. Don't you cry. Go to sleepy little baby. When you wake, you shall have all the pretty little horses, blacks and bays, dapples and grays, coach and 6 little horses. Hushaby, don't you cry. Go to sleepy little baby. Go to sleep, my little baby. Go to sleep, my little baby. I pray you'll be our eyes and watch us where we go, and help us to be wise in times when we don't know. Let this be our prayer when we lose our way. Lead us to a place, guide us with your grace, to a place where we'll be safe.
La luce che tu
I
dai
pray we'll find your
nel cuore
light and
resterà
hold it in our
a
heart.
ricordarsi che
When stars go out each
l'eterno stella
night,
sei nella mia preghiera.
let this be our
Quanta
prayer.
fede che
When shadows fill our days,
lead us to a place,
guide us with your grace, to a place where we'll be safe.
Sognato mondo senza più violenza, un mondo di giustizia, di speranza. Ognuno dia la mano so vicino, simbola di pace, di fraternità. Forza che ci dà
We ask that life be kind
desiderio te,
and
just like every child, just like every child. Need to find a place, guide us with your grace, give us faith so we'll be